Big news about the Indianapolis 500. The race is going to be televised live on Channel 13. We couldn't be more excited about it. We're going to talk about that tonight here on Facebook Live. In fact, we're going to get you all set for Carb Day tomorrow. It is going to be a fantastic Friday for the city as we turn our attention toward the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and what is going to be a terrific weekend here in central Indiana. We're going to get you all set in terms of Carb Day coverage, talk a little bit more about the local TV blackout being lifted, and we got to get right to Angela tonight because this evening we do have some rain. In fact, I've been sitting here looking at my Live Doppler 13 weather app. I do see some green there. We are having some areas with rain and storms, right?
We are, and I'm glad you mentioned the app. When we were, I think it was during the 6 o'clock, we had a couple storms, or 5:30, we had a couple storms move toward Lafayette, and I have Lafayette as one of my alerts, which you can set up on the app, and I have Lafayette on there because Luke goes to Purdue, and I got an alert. Lightning approaching your location is Lafayette. I'm like, oh, see, it works.
It's one of the cool things about that app because you can really set your points in terms of where you want to be notified. Exactly.
So it actually is going to be a great resource as we head into Carb Day because we're not going to be completely dry tomorrow. You mentioned the rain. Live Doppler 13 radar. I've got this in motion over the last, half hour, 45 minutes or so, and you can see the rain moving basically west to east. Some of the heavier rain we've had across the northern part of our viewing area. So Lafayette, Logansport, Delphi, Kokomo, you've had some rain. Tipton as well. That area is moving east toward Marion now, and we've got some steadier rain building Bloomington, south to approaching Bedford. And if you look at the lightning counter, we're up to 11. Most of those strikes are with the cells south of Bloomington, south of Bedford. So nothing severe close to home, but we're not done with this weather system. The back edge still technically across parts of South Dakota. So we still have a ways to get through with this storm system. By no means are we going to be in the heavy rain all day tomorrow, but I do think we get a time frame of some steady rain late morning, early afternoon that may interrupt or delay some of the activities out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Carb Day, and then it just turns into a couple of spotty showers by late afternoon, early evening. This is the timeline, doing a pretty good job on the placement of the steady rain. And then what's developing out to our west will kind of slide in here the early part of tomorrow morning. So we still have some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder around 8 a.m. But again, nothing severe. Showing the lightning bolt, I really think that's going to be slim during the day tomorrow. Mainly a pocket of steady or two showers with some rain as we go through maybe late morning through early afternoon. Then we get some dry time. So we're going to call it spotty showers for the Carb Day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And here's what I'm pointing out. See that steady rain midday, but then it's out of here, and what's left behind, Scott, are just kind of these nuisance showers. I do think we get some dry time out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, hoping that that steady rain that happens late morning, early afternoon, we're able to get the track dry so they can get that last practice in.
Okay, that sounds good. Carb Day is going to be exciting, and it starts early tomorrow morning because Chuck and Carlos are going to be out at the track because the Today Show is coming into town. They've got a crew set up. They've been doing some filming around the track today with the pace car driver, Danica Patrick, and some others. They're going to be talking tomorrow during the Today Show, so you're going to want to tune in beginning on sunrise, 4 a.m., and then the Today Show at 7 a.m. as we get ready for Carb Day. Gates open tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., and the track will be open for practice beginning at 11 a.m., and it'll run 11 to 1 unless we get some rain in there. And there's a live picture of a quiet Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Though if I know the Today Show and the other broadcast professionals, they are probably out there getting ready for their live coverage tomorrow. And again, you'll see Chuck and Carlos beginning with our coverage at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Tickets are $25 still available for Carb Day. And a reminder, no concert tomorrow, no pit stop challenge tomorrow. Both of those events canceled because of the pandemic. But if you want to go out and see the cars shake down before Sunday, hopefully it'll be safe. The drivers will be out in traffic, getting a chance to do some passing, and it'll be an exciting day, and hopefully the rain will stay away at least long enough for them to get it in.
Yeah, you know, we always talk about a window of opportunity this time of year, and usually we have to use that on race day, but we're going to use it tomorrow because race day sunshine, and 70.
Wow.
I know.
I just
Sunshine
can't
and 70.
remember. I can't remember a race where it felt that cool on race day.
You know, we have to go back. Sean did a little research, and he's left some graphics, so we'll talk more about that tomorrow this time.
Yeah.
But in 2013, I think it was, we had a 68-degree race day.
Okay, so it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And it's been interesting this month, Angela, to hear the different drivers talk about what they prefer. You know, we heard Connor Daly earlier in the month say, what he said, cloudy and cool.
Cloudy and cool.
And then Tony Kanaan was on the news today saying sunny and warm would be better for him.
Okay.
So, you know, we'll see. And I've heard that the sunshine and heat slows down things, but I think in terms of comfort level for fans sitting out there for 3 or 4 hours, I think 71, 72 degrees be pretty nice.
Yeah, and my recommendation is take a jacket, take a sweatshirt, and then you can use it as a seat cushion when you don't need it. When the sun comes out and a little later, and as we get closer to the race, you shouldn't need that jacket.
And as we mentioned at the very top of Facebook Live, we're going to put the graphic on the screen. This is the big story. Watch it live, everybody. Indy 500 is going to be on Channel 13 live on Sunday morning. The local blackout is lifted. Remember, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway had a capacity limit of 40%, which translates to 135,000 fans. Doug Bowles, the CEO, said, look, we've sold all our tickets, so we're going to go ahead and lift the local TV blackout. Doesn't happen very often. They did it back in 2016 for the 100th running. They did it last year because obviously the pandemic wiped out fans. They had to run it in August, so we lifted the blackout last year, and it will be lifted again. Can't wait to watch the race live on Sunday morning. It's going to be so much fun, Angela.
It is going to be so much fun, but if you are one of the lucky ones, lucky one of the 135,000 that get to go, and you still like to watch it at home, you're going to want to set your DVR before you head to the racetrack because we're not re-airing it that evening.
Yeah,
and
great
I know,
reminder.
Yeah, that's a big tradition for a lot of people that go to the race and then want to re-watch it, but you have to DVR it or record it somehow in some capacity because we won't be rerunning it.
Yeah, NBC has live sports programming on Sunday night, and that's the reason they are not doing a rebroadcast as is tradition here in Indianapolis. All right, let's talk about a serious subject out at the track this year. Legendary announcer Bob Jenkins has a real health battle on his hands, and that is part of our big story coverage tonight on 13 News at 11. Our colleague Anne Marie spoke with Bob Jenkins recently about his health battle, and I talked to Anne earlier this week about her special report that you'll see tonight at 11.
I had a sit-down conversation with Bob Jenkins. He's 73 years old, longtime track announcer, racing announcer, working for ABC, ESPN, really since the late 70s, and most recently being the track announcer. You know, the news did come out in February that he was diagnosed with a terminal brain cancer. It was really tough news, and it's really hard for Bob because this is a path he knows well, personally, intimately, from just 9 years ago. Let's take a look. Jenkins, ironically, is intimately familiar with what's ahead. His wife, Pam, died in 2012, just 6 months after a primary cancer spread to her brain.
That had to be hard.
It was very hard. It was very hard for me. It was very hard for her. It was very hard for everybody.
And he says his symptoms now are similar to hers.
I still am very, very confused at times. It's a tough time. It really is.
So Bob lives in Crawfordsville right now. He's had surgery, chemo, and radiation. He has stepped away from the PA announcer duties at the track this Sunday, and he talks about that and about, you know, really going out to the race and not having to worry about work, and that really is a gift. And he just, you know, says first of all he is a racing fan. He has loved his career. He has loved all the places that he's gone, all the stories, and he shares what his memorable moments are. He talks about death, he talks about legacy, and he talks about what he wants the fans to know most.
Yeah.
It's in part of our conversation tonight at 11, Scott.
His voice is so familiar to race fans. I mean, when you hear him call a race, you just know That's Bob Jenkins. He's just got this awesome voice, doesn't he?
Well, he does, you know, and Simon Pagino tweeted about that, saying hearing Bob Jenkins' voice is like a hug for race fans at the Speedway in the month of May. And I asked Bob, you know, he said, I've just been really lucky. And I'm like, well, you've got the voice, man. You've got the pipes. And he says, you know what? It's just God-given. Yeah. I just open my mouth and that's what comes out. And people don't recognize him necessarily in person, but they hear him and they say, I know that voice. Yeah. So it's really special.
He is a sweet guy, and we very much look forward to watching your story tonight on 13 News at 11. Thanks so much, Ann. So the conversation with Bob Jenkins, all part of our big story as we look ahead toward Carb Day and a big race weekend. You'll be seeing that story tonight at 11 o'clock. All right, if you watch Facebook Live with us here on Channel 13, you know that we are big fans of dogs. We talk with Angela about Chewy quite a bit. Obviously, we talk about Meredith and her dog, Poppy. We've got Lauren and Milo, and so we love dogs around here. And so as we begin counting down to the Summer Olympics, which are now 56 days away, I went on a pre-pandemic trip to Japan to gather some stories about the Olympic host country. That way viewers would get to know more about the people, places, and the culture. And one of the stories, Angela, that I found when I was over there was Japan's most popular pet. The Shiba dog is very popular in Japan, and there is one dog who really has become a viral sensation. Watch this. Japan is a photographer's dream.
The colors, just the atmosphere, the warmth that you feel when you're here.
Once we start taking images, it's so beautiful, you know. It's easy to compose images. It's an endless source of inspiration.
It's no wonder that social media is filled with spectacular photos of the Olympic host country.
No matter how hard I try to shoot everything, the next day I wake up and I go to the same place I've been to 1,000 times and I discover something fresh.
But in Japan's crowded online space, the most unique buzz might just be coming from this unassuming Tokyo man and his favorite photo subject.
こんにちは、小野伸二郎と、彼は、柴犬のマルです。マルは、11歳の柴犬です。彼のこうスマイルというか、こう笑顔が人々の心を。
Maru can't seem to go anywhere in Tokyo without drawing attention.
This is the most famous Shiba dog in Japan.
思い出させるというか、まあ、彼の笑顔を見て。
Shinjiro Ono found Maru at a pet store 11 years ago, saying the puppy was probably ignored because he had a round body.
マル以外の子供たちが連れて行かれて、最後に残ったのがマルだったんですね。で、これ以上彼が残っていると。
Shinjiro bought the puppy on Christmas Eve and named it Maru, which means the circle. They became inseparable.
マルとの関係は一番近い言葉で言ったら多分 He's my son.
Shinjiro started posting photos of their adventures on Instagram.
人たちに向けて日本の文化とかライフワークとして続けていることで、日本には本当にいいところがたくさんあって。
Photos of the smiling Shiba seem to connect with people. Maru now has 2.5 million followers on Instagram.
Okay. いや、わかんない。
The dog's popularity probably explains why this man wandered over during my interview. There is a market for Maru.
Calendar?
Quite literally.
Coaster.
Coasters.
Yes.
Maru's face.
Towel?
A towel.
Yeah.
Maru's towel.
Yeah.
Is on everything. And Maru beer.
Maru beer.
Maru has become a revenue generator, but not for his owner.
費用として寄付したりするよ、そういった活動を続けています。
The round dog, once ignored in a pet store, now has his own shop. His smiling face, who once couldn't get anyone's attention, now gets 200,000 views for a post like this one. And Maru is impacting his owner.
どちらかというと社交的じゃないタイプで、今まで知らなかったことがいろんなことが発見することができた。まあ人生がすごく豊かになりました。
It's been quite a ride for Maru, a puppy that came from humble beginnings to become Japan's most popular dog. Yeah, my thanks to our extraordinary photographer, editor, Steve Rhodes, for putting that story together, Angela.
Such a happy story, and I love all the music and the vibrant color, and then the smiling
I know.
Shiba.
I just fell in love with Maru, that's for sure.
Adorable.
And you've got an important story that we're going to want to see tonight involving storm chasing at 11, right?
Yeah, this is interesting. Ball State holds a storm chasing class. Yes, it's a class. And from my understanding, they attempt to do it every year. Obviously didn't last year. But Dr. Call, who leads the class, this was his 14th time, and they spotted 5 tornadoes the other day, which you say is a success as far as learning about the science. I always tell students when I'm doing school talks, I am not a chaser. I would not chase tornadoes. I don't know how to do it. They are specifically trained.
Right.
And you know, as a scientist, you want to learn as much as you can about tornadoes, but you really don't want them to happen. But in order for us to learn about how and why some storms produce tornadoes and others don't, chasers really do give us some vital information. So there they are in the middle of Kansas looking at an iPad with radar and seeing right before their eyes a tornado. So it's interesting. I talked to Rachel and Alexander, 2 Ball State students, and then of course their professor, Dr. Call.
So we'll see that story tonight at 11 o'clock. All right, let's check in with some of our friends. Melanie wants to know, Angela, do we need a sweatshirt in the afternoon tomorrow?
Ooh, in the afternoon tomorrow, I would say maybe by evening, if you've got some early evening plans.
Okay.
I would take a jacket or a sweatshirt. You're going to need that jacket, sweatshirt all day Saturday. We're going to spend most of the day Saturday in the 50s.
Oh my gosh.
50s.
Wow.
Which is a good. If we get to 60, that's still 15 colder than where we should be.
Right.
So a cool start to the weekend and relatively mild as far as May standards go for the end of May for the Indy 500 on Sunday, sunshine and 70.
All right, Anastasia is saying the dog is adorable. Sherry saying Maru is precious. And Teresa, Glenn, Dan is with us tonight. Lindsay is with us. Wendell is joining us tonight. Jim is with us. Daniel, all thanks to you for watching tonight on Thursday night. Be sure to join us tonight on 13 News at 11. We got the big story. We're going to be talking Carb Day. And oh yeah, we probably will be talking about the fact that the Indy 500 is live here on Channel 13 on Sunday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook. We'll see you tonight at 11. Good night.